Snapchat chilling. Now, first things first, I'm out here because my girlfriend's hosting a sipping paint at the house with all her friends. All right, so I'm not the kind of guy that wants to hang around a bunch of girls. All right, I see no point in it. I'm not finna sit up under a bunch of women and mind woman business. It's not a fit for me. Two, I'm just out here pretty much just chilling and just touching grass for the most part, right? Just getting some air, man. And this 50 Cent thing being celibate, right? 50 Cent being celibate, right? I find this to be an interesting topic because, I don't think no one ever talks about what happens when you get on the other side of being able to sleep with all the girls you want. Now, first things first, me personally, I don't believe he's as celibate as he says he is. I think this is a marketing strategy. I think this is a ploy, all right? I can't see someone like 50 Cent not fucking, right? Now, do I think he's not fucking as much as he probably could be fucking? That I believe, all right? Because look, the thing about having a lot of sex with a lot of girls, right? If you ever get to a space where you have a lot of sex with a lot of girls, right? It can be distracting if you are a guy that's goal driven, all right? You have to be the kind of guy that can say, no, not today. Because look, someone in his position, has worked himself to a position to where, he's reversed the whole like attraction thing, meaning like when you're a woman, men are naturally attracted to you, men approach you, inbox you and all the other shit. For 50 Cent, it's the opposite. It's that exact thing for him, right? When a dude is known to be successful, known to make money, has a lot of status and people know he's successful and, he has a lot of good stuff going for him. Women come at you, right? When you get to a significant place in your life, women come after you, right? And I'm pretty sure he has had his pick of the litter of women from all over the globe. Now, the thing they don't tell you about pussy is at some point, it don't hit the same way it do when you are first chasing after it or if you struggle to get it. Because look, I think it's the same reason why women are not as crazy about dick as men are as about pussy, right? Because women can get dick from anybody, right? And the same thing can be said for the reverse effect on what he's dealing with. And the reason why I find this topic so interesting really is, most guys never really get to a space where they can have the women that they want. Like I would say most men on the earth struggle with women, right? So you never really get a chance to get to a space where, you got 5 girls you can pick from, 10 girls you can pick from, 7 girls you can pick from. You have your pick of the litter and everything that's going on. And you have to tell these motherfuckers, look, not today. Like, maybe like you have to schedule around the shit you got going on. Not only that, but 50 Cent's a business mogul. And I think as a man, right, at least in my personal opinion, you get to a point where your legacy starts to matter. The things you're going to leave behind start to matter, right? And sleeping with a bunch of women, it's cool. Like, okay, that shit's cool to tell other niggas. That, don't really get no pussy like that. But, that shit don't sound fly to another guy that gets pussy the same way you get pussy, right? It sound cool. It's all right. But like using like, your sexual conquest as a flex, like instead of being like, I probably, opened a hospital or, I started my own car business or, I cured cancer, so to speak. Those are much more notable accomplishments. Not only that, right, to be real, he's not wrong, right? You take sex off the table from a lot of women, most chicks don't have a leg to stand on. Meaning if a girl had to stand on just her personality and the things that she's able to do for you outside of fucking, most bitches can't hack it. And again, I think this is a marketing ploy, but again, we're just taking it from the sake of just him saying it, right? When you're able to get to know a motherfucker just off the strength of who they are as a person, like, okay, because the thing with most men is, right, they're never able to get past the sex part to see if some women are really good people. You know what I mean? I would wager to think half you motherfuckers ain't worth a fuck. You know what I mean? And, if a dude really looked at a chick for her personality and the shit that she was on and, the kind of person that she was, her character, her upbringing, her morals, right? Again, a lot of you motherfuckers ain't worth dating. And I'm not saying it to be shady, but I'm saying when you really look at it from a character, like, who a person is as a human being on this earth, a lot of you motherfuckers ain't worth the trouble. Not only that, but there's a flip side of this, right? As a man, take sex off the table. And I mean your sexual drive, right? Like, let's say you were to, like, seriously go abstinent. You could put that energy into a whole bunch of other shit. Because I think the shit that sometimes derails men is, our natural, like, drive for sex, so to speak. Like, it's a lot of guys in this world that crash out and do a bunch of dumb shit just behind the fact that they not getting laid like that. A lot of these school shootings that happen, a lot of motherfuckers blowing shit up, a lot of that shit is because these niggas ain't getting laid. It sounds crazy, but like if a motherfucker got his dick sucked before he was finna go shoot up a motherfucking grocery store or some bullshit, he would probably seriously reconsider that. But because most men are not loved the way they should be loved, they end up taking that violence out on everything else. Like, testosterone really makes you, like, okay, they say a lot of shit about estrogen. Testosterone makes you do some crazy shit. And again, I think it shows a lot of discipline of a person that can really sexually discipline themselves. And I mean in the sense of like, okay, I think this only works in his case to, like, where you don't done all your running around. I say the same shit about a dude wanting to be in a relationship or be a husband. I wouldn't recommend a motherfucker get into a relationship or be a significant other to anybody until you don't hold yourself all the way out and got that shit out your motherfucking system, right? Because you don't need to be a guy, right, that's either A, has not had his fill of women yet, and B, be in a relationship, and then C, still hasn't experienced the things that he really wanted to experience. Like, I think you make a much better spouse when you are able to, like, taper that sexual desire off for other women. You know what I mean? Meaning, like, you're able to focus on your family. Now, again, if you are a guy that wants to date multiple women, I say all the time, that should be something you should be honest about. And I mean, but I'm saying from the space of, like, a guy that's lived it. Like, I personally feel like I fall into this category. Like, there's not a whole lot out here that you can really entice me with because I've done it already, right? At this point in my life, I'm bougie dick. Like, it ain't that serious. Ain't nothing worth crashing out. It ain't like it ain't nothing the motherfucker really tell me to be like, all right, I'm gonna go do some slick dumbass shit. Like, once you, like, okay, on the front end when it comes to pussy, it's one of those things. It feels like it's a big deal, but after you've had it a lot for a while, you realize that this shit ain't really that deep. Not only that, right? But pussy is the only thing a chick can use against you on attack mode. Like, meaning, like, okay, your spouse get mad. What's the first thing she do? Oh, we're not gonna have sex. If you're a guy that don't care about sex, it ain't really shit this bitch can do to you. Like, outside of, like, maybe legally take you to court or set you up or do some dumb shit. But I'm saying, like, if I'm, like, on the front end of, like, a first date, right? Let's say a motherfucker, oh, I don't, you don't been talking to this girl, I'm not gonna fuck you. Then it's like, and you, like, one of them niggas, you not big on sex, it ain't really a whole lot this motherfucker can do to hurt you or go against you. Not only that, right? But I feel like as a man, you unlock a different type of strength when you stop giving a fuck about that motherfucking hole between her legs. Really. Like, when you are able to turn, when you get to a space as a man where you can turn down pussy, that is that is one of the biggest strengths that you can have. That's one of the biggest guns you can have in your arsenal, because once a motherfucker can't fuck their way into your life, like, there ain't really shit you can do with you. Like, they can do with you, right? They have to come correct. They have to be on some type of shit where they're actually a good person. But a lot of these girls get away with just, okay, I'm going to just spring some pussy on them, I'm going to fuck them and everything, and we're going to be right back where we was. If you're a dude that has that discipline and has that self-control about himself when it comes to sex, it ain't really nothing that a motherfucker can do to your ass. So again, I don't think being celibate is a bad thing. I think it's one of the more disciplined things you can do. But I will also say, if you're going to be celibate, do celibacy for yourself, right? Don't be celibate to try to make a motherfucker make a move or whatever the case may be. If you're going to partake in that type of discipline, you better make sure it's some shit you really want to do. But again, I think this topic is interesting because you don't really hear many dudes talking about being celibate. You know what I mean? It's always like some chick talking about being celibate. And a lot of times when girls go, say I'm celibate out loud, a lot of them just don't either A, they don't fucked a lot, or B, they religious. Or, some dude done drug them and broke their heart. So, now they're claiming celibate and shaving half their head. But that's just how sometimes this shit be going. But yeah, man, that was a very interesting topic. I like to talk about things that are, outside of the normal space. You know what I mean? Like that has a little bit of miles that no one's really talking about. Like there's not a lot of dudes speaking about celibacy, like from a man's perspective. So, just wanted to run that one down real quick, man. But I'm gonna get back in this car. I'm gonna get back to making money. Y'all do what y'all do. I'll do what I do. Peace, nigga.